So,
What's up, baby?
so much goes on these days.
It's getting exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty breakneck for a while now.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I like being able to talk about it as a way to process it.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't have a show, I'd be upset all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know, maybe that's why I like it.
Therapy. The show's like therapy.
Yeah, these are very cathartic things to sit here and talk about stuff.
So, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So memos. What's happening?
Well, I mean, you guys have as much knowledge about it as I do. It is funny to me that Donald Trump thought by firing James Comey, he would get rid of him as a problem. Because it seems like that just created a bigger problem because James Comey, no matter what you think about him, seems to me to be a man of integrity. And a man who...
He made a mistake.
He made some mistakes, and everybody makes some mistakes. But he was the kind of guy who his whole career has been, writing stuff down.
Memos.
Yeah, to get ready. And so, again, I'd bet that Donald Trump, I'm going to say this, no memos. I don't think Donald Trump has ever had a meeting and said, "Get me a pen and paper. I want to make sure I remember how this went." So if in the he said of this, I would think that most people would think that James Comey's truth is a more likely...
Do you think Pence and Sessions will corroborate that they were thrown out of the room?
I think they'll put off any corroboration as long as they have to.
Right.
We'll avoid the phone call, stay in the bush.
Yeah. They're going to have to put more bushes outside the White House. There's not enough bushes for the staff.
Never enough bushes.
They should bring back George W. Bush. That would be the best Bush at this point.
Now, in 2011, you hosted the White House Correspondents' Dinner,
did.
where you roasted Trump. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke. Donald Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head. Donald Trump said recently he has a great relationship with the blacks, though unless the blacks are a family of white people, I bet he's mistaken.
I had a grand old time that night. I look back on it fondly. That is, he showed us up so hard. Again, we made fun of him. No, Trump showed us up. We made fun of him relentlessly, and now he's president. So I will say, no matter how
last laugh.
if he physically laughed, which he doesn't, he would have the last
But
laugh.
some say this is what inspired him to run, so is this all your fault?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Over the course before the election, people kept saying, Obama made fun of him that night, and that's why he ran. And I kept feeling overlooked, and I was saying, hey, I was part of that too. And then, when he won, I realized it was Obama's fault.
Absolutely.
Nothing to do with it.
But interestingly enough, you have a very long history with Senor Trump. You apparently starred with him in a couple of sketches over the years.
Yeah, when he hosted SNL the first time.
Yes, let's take a peek.
There's no reason why sensitivity and warmth can't be key ingredients between fathers and sons. That's why we're here today on Fathers and Sons. Isn't that right, Dad?
You could really cut that intro in half. Boy, it's way, way too long.
Trump, you know our wings will make you happy. Trumpy, you know our wings will fill you up. Trump, if you want a place with awesome chicken wings, yeah, Donald Trump, out the wings.
I have spent so much of my career trying to make this man look unpresidential, and yet people voted for him anyway. I feel so ineffective.
But did you get along?
He was fine. He was very, he didn't strike me as someone who had a great sense of humor, but he was game.
What did you
don't
think
say.
Yeah. The other interesting thing I will tell you about that week is he would say, I remember he would always ask people 3 questions, and the third question would always be the same. He'd say, where are you from? And I would tell him, and then he'd say, do you like this job? And I would say, yes. And then he'd say, did you see the Celebrity Apprentice ratings? And he would pull it out of his pocket.
Really?
He carried around the ratings. with him.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Stop it.
But again, he was a young 57-year-old man. I'm sure he changed. I'm sure he changed.
I actually made him laugh one time.
You did?
When he was on The View years and years ago with Ivanka, he said that was where he made that infamous remark,
Yeah.
if she weren't my daughter, I'd go out with her, something like
Yeah.
that. And I said to him, who are you, Woody Allen? And he actually laughed at that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That made him laugh.
There you go.
Why?
I will say about House of Wings, which is an incredible performance.
Yeah.
He was really great in that. He was great in the father and son thing, too. His timing was really good. He didn't get why that was funny, the House of Wings, until the audience went crazy, and then he was very happy.
And he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
He
know?
needed the reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Stephen Colbert, if you don't mind, because
Sure.
we're comedians, and he was in trouble. He was in trouble, Ben. The FCC is looking into it because he said something that they considered to be extremely vulgar, but funny on his show. I thought it was funny, but what do you think?
Oh, I mean, look, we all make decisions as late-night talk show hosts where we think the jokes are, and I celebrate everybody's decisions. I think that's what makes comedy interesting.
And what about the FCC going after him? Do you worry about that?
No, I don't worry about that. It strikes me that that's what the FCC does all the time, that this wasn't that far outside of what the norm is.
Except we have a new FCC head.
Yeah.
Yes. Which, and I know this because, of course, I've had the conversation about what can be said and what cannot be said. And people are concerned because there's a new guy that he's appointed. Now, shouldn't that make us uncomfortable that it's not about who we're talking about, it's the words that we say? Because there's certain words you know you can't say. Right. But if you're making jokes about somebody, is that something the FCC should be looking into now?
Look, I don't think about the FCC that much. I find a lot of other things I'm more concerned about as far as what this administration is doing. And I will probably wish I thought about the FCC the day they kick in the doors of our show and put us all on vans. But I think comedy's in a pretty good place right now. And I think...
Lots of material.
Lots of material, certainly. And again, it seems like you're talking about vulgar language. You know, there's someone else who's using it that everybody seemes okay with. So.
Yes.
But Trump has had some words about you, by the way. He's had a grudge since the correspondence dinner.
Yeah.
And he, one of which your Secret Santa embroidered for you.
Our Secret Santa.
I think you have a picture.
There you go.
I thought Seth Meyers, his delivery, frankly, was not good. He's a stutterer. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. And
true?
Grace, who works on our show and is in our script department, she was my Secret Santa, and she knitted that, and it's just lovely, and it's on my wall.
That's
Because
a
we
great-
love
great
you
gift.
as well.
Oh,
We had this made for your one-year-old son.
Oh, that's great.
It's
What does it say?
just as I predicted, Seth bombed. Donald J. Trump.
That's fantastic.
And here's another one. I only like doing shows with good ratings.
Oh.
So he's not coming, as he said.
No, he's not coming on our show.
And then we've got this one.
You know, two's fine.
Nope. How will you stay warm at night, Seth, without this? Seth can't help it. He is really trying hard, but just doesn't have what it takes.
Yeah, there you go.
And one more, because we want to make sure it's actually touching you at all times. Very awkward and insecure.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you so much.
We love you, Seth!
You know,
Modern day Stuart Smalley over here.
we're going to go and come right back with more with Seth Meyers.